Hi, hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Faiza.
And it goes a little something like
Before I tell you what this video is all about today, let me tell you mine. We're almost at 200 subscribers and I'm really excited to hit that mark. It will really mean a lot to me and for us. So if you're seeing me for the first time or you're watching me at the moment and you haven't subscribed, please do. And you'd like to see my face more often, please subscribe. And welcome to the family. I'm really excited and happy to have all of you here. And for my returning subscribers, thank you so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. So on today's video, I'll be sharing with you some tips for new graduate nurses or anyone else who is in the medical field. I wanted to do this video earlier, but I couldn't because obviously I needed some experience so that I can talk out of experience and not just assumptions. You know, I love authenticity, so I want to maintain that in my videos. A disclaimer, let me just put it out there. Some of the tips are from my personal experience, so if you haven't experienced it, you have the right to agree or disagree, okay? First thing is that be patient. It took a while for my class, you know, the group that are in internship right now, to be posted. We all know that. If you're from Kenya, you understand how things are done, you know, government things. I really did wait for a really long time to be posted, and I know I'm not the only one. So for those who are not doing their internship, also you have to be patient because you can't be in a hurry with such things. It's not even realistic. I just sat myself down and thought, every time that I'm getting frustrated with, every time that I'm feeling so impatient, it's not going to change anything. When the time comes, it will. In the meantime, just keep yourself busy. There's so much opportunities, you know, writing, online writing businesses, if I may say. For me personally, that's when I created most of my YouTube videos. If you haven't seen them, go ahead and check them out. They are pretty much interesting. For those who are still in school, there are some great tips out there. For those who aren't, then this video is for you. Okay, finally, we did get posted and here I am, almost halfway through my internship. The moral of the story is that just sit back, relax, and just strategize your life, because it's such a huge step. You're not in school anymore. You have to find a job, you have to find connections. If you have them already, well and good. For people like me who haven't, we have to strategize how we can improve our social skills and all that. Maybe I'll go into details in another video. Number 2 is grow your knowledge. I'll still give an example with my experience. I was out of school for a while before internship. Being in the internship, especially starting with the med-surg rotation, honestly, it made me feel like I didn't know anything, like I wasn't even in school. And mind you, my favorite subject was med-surg. Yeah, believe it or not, I felt like I had forgotten everything. And I did do my NCK, I had studied like a lot, so you expect me to, you know most of the things, but I didn't feel that way. And I want to tell you that it's normal sometimes, and that should challenge you to actually grow your knowledge. It doesn't mean that you're no longer in school, you can't read books. Who said that? I personally love reading, and you'll catch me on my tea break or any other time. I'm going through some pharmacology book, not reading in details, just reminding myself some things that I might have forgotten and they're useful in the ward or wherever placement I'm at the moment. We've been told a couple of times by the nurses there that it's okay that if you don't know, you can ask, and if you're too embarrassed to ask, you can always Google. I mean, the internet is free, it's everywhere, it's for everyone. There's Wi-Fi in the hospital, you have bundles, and if you don't have, you can ask. There's an option of asking, right? Just make sure you're getting authentic information, not the shortcuts that are being used in the hospitals, you know, because of the staff shortage. And if it's Google, not every information is usually true, so be careful when you're doing that. You might be asking yourself, why am I reading like I'm qualified? for sure you need to know the rationale of everything you're doing. Every nursing intervention has a rationale. So if you don't know the rationale, then what are you doing? What's that intervention? As one of our lecturers used to say, you're just doing witchcraft. My fellow nurses out there, don't be just performing an intervention just because you are told. Like, for example, you are administering a drug just because the doctor prescribed. You should actually ask yourself, why was this medication prescribed? Why am I giving this dosage? Why am I giving it this frequency? And just why? Never just do everything blindly, because if you do that, it might run you some trouble. It should not be a competition between doctors, nurses. While you are performing whatever intervention or whatever procedure is going on, you should always remind yourself that you're working as a team. Okay? Okay. Another thing why it's important to have knowledge of whatever you're doing in hospital is because you're no longer a student. That was one of the scariest things that I had to realize for myself, that I can't frequently go, I'll just go ask the qualified. Tenda kuuliza sister. You have to remind yourself that you're one of the qualified nurses and you need to have the knowledge. I hope you understand what I mean from all the rambling. Number 2, as I said earlier, build your connections. This is something that you just can't wake up and decide I'll connect myself with this person. It's something you have to strategize. That's why I said earlier on that it's one of the things that I sat down and tried to figure out. I know it was difficult because I literally didn't know where I was going to be posted for internship, but at least I needed to have the idea of how to do that. This is important because you have to think about the future. You're not going to be in an internship forever. And for self-growth, for those who don't do the internship, you can't remain in the same job forever. You know, you have to grow yourself, you have to grow your finances. This is something that should never be done blindly. You know why? Because the connections you find reflect back on you. If you say that your connection is someone who doesn't have a good reputation in an institution or wherever you're working at, that might say a lot about you. So do your research, ask around if you have to. Simply be diligent about it. There are a lot of scammers out there. There are a lot of liars out there. So be careful, okay? If you're looking for these connections in the institution that you work, I might suggest that you observe how they're doing their work. That will tell you a lot about the person in their profession and even their personality. The same way these qualified nurses are observing you, or whatever you want your connection to be, the same way they're observing you, you should also do the same. If these connections are not for you, personally I emphasize on building myself up so that no one will come and say, maybe it weren't for me. You'll need to be there. No. Okay, someone can help, but I don't want them to take that credit away from me. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong of being your own connection. Like, I feel like I've said connection a lot. Yeah, but I really do hope that you get what I mean. Okay, this is a serious video and I keep on laughing. So, finally, be your own person. I think I mentioned this in one of my previous videos. It's not right for you to be absorbed in the norms and culture of an institution, and it happens more than often, especially when it comes to procedure shortcuts. They have an excuse of why they're doing this. There's always a shortage of staff, so the conditions for the nurses, for the medics are usually harsh most of the time. But for you who has recently been in school, you have no excuse to be absorbed in these shortcuts. Like, you have your own fresh brain. Like, just think critically, why am I doing this? What should be done at a certain point? And try to figure out, or try to remind yourself the ideal way of doing things. Because one time it might cost you, and you'll not have other nurses by your side to defend you, saying, oh, we are short staffed, that's why you always do this. No one has ever just because you did that, and there's don't get sucked into that all that funny businesses. Just practice authentically, like someone who knows what they're doing. I'd rather take 20 minutes and do the right thing other than doing haphazard, weird 2-minute stuff. Just remind yourself you're not doing this for yourself. You're not doing it for other nurses. You're not doing it for other medics. You're doing it for your patient. If you have that compassion for your patients. But I'm speaking for myself, and I'm speaking for those who can relate. Okay? If you're not sure about whatever you're doing, whatever is happening in a procedure, just ask or Google or refer to your book. Like, what's so hard about that? Literally, there are many ebooks out there. I can plug you with the website. Just search the title of the book and see if it's there and download it for free. And if you're watching this video and you know any other website or place someone can download these medical books, I know they are expensive, you can always share the link in the comments and we'll appreciate. Okay. In addition to being your own person, this from my own personal experience where I'm doing my internship, other nurses that are already working there, other medics, even the patients expect so much from you because you're no longer a student, you don't look like a student, you don't dress like a student. So obviously they expect you to have this kind of knowledge, this kind of values to hold while you're treating your patients. It's important not to feel intimidated. One of my biggest fear while I was starting my internship is that they will leave me alone, leave all patients to me. Well, it has happened once or twice, but nothing happened, alhamdulillah. That simply shows that they trust you. Like, they think or they know you need to know what you're doing. Anyway, I hope you're having a wonderful experience out of school. I know nursing school is really stressful. That's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I hope you got inspired by some of the tips. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for clicking onto this video. And I hope to see you again. If you're seeing me for the first time, please subscribe. The subscribe button is right here or around somewhere. Right here or right here. Bye. Okay, see you.
I feel your kisses on my shoulders. I feel your arms in